Hello everyone, and today we're going to talk about Game of the Year then, or my Game of the Year at least. Never normally do this, because normally when it gets around to November, December time, I can never be bothered going through the year and looking back at the games of the year. But this year, we might as well. It's not been a great year, 2022, for gaming, if we leave it strictly to gaming. It's not been a great year all round for anything, really, but as far as gaming goes, yeah, it's been okay, really. Most games have been delayed into 2023 now. But yeah, we've seen it's mostly been a year of remakes and remasters, hasn't it? And re-releases on the PC at least. I mean, it's been mostly a year for Sony games, hasn't it? With the release of quite a few formerly PlayStation exclusive games. In January, we had God of War 2018. We have to call it that now. We can't call it God of War 1 because God of War Ragnarok is out. So we have to call it God of War 2018 because God of War 1 was on the PS2. So we have to call it God of War 2018, which came out on the PC in 2022, just to make that even more confusing for you. Yeah, we had God of War. Then we had Spider-Man remastered. Then we had Uncharted, the Nathan Drake. Well, it's not the Nathan Drake collection. It was the Legacy of Thieves collection with Uncharted 4 and Uncharted 4, what was it, the add-on called? The Lost Legacy. That was the add-on for Uncharted 4. That came out in October. With Sackboy, that came out in October as well. And then just recently, in November, we had Spider-Man Miles Morales as well coming to PC. So it has been the year of the Sony game on PC, hasn't it? Otherwise, outside of that, even 2023 is looking like another year of remakes and remasters as well. With January bringing his Dead Space remaster, and I played Dead Space recently on the Steam Deck, and I thought doesn't really need a remaster. Resident Evil 4 is another one that's coming in March of 2023, and yeah, again I played the original on the Steam Deck. They run really well, those older games. I gotta say they're really good. 60 FPS, no real issues. And I don't think it needs a remake either. Resident Evil 4 is still a masterpiece. But anyway, we'll get back to 2022. And yeah, I mean, Elden Ring, I didn't like Elden Ring on the PC port, wasn't very good. It stuttered quite a bit when you first ran it. The shader compilation stutter, which was a theme of 2022 really on the PC as well. With shader compilation stutters marring the sort of PC ports that we had over the year. And as well, yeah, so Elden Ring stuttered only at the 60 FPS cap, and then after patch 1.03, the game just didn't load for me anymore on my PC. I tried that on 3 different systems. One of them we couldn't load. The most powerful system we have didn't load. The laptop, it loaded quite well. And the Steam Deck, it loaded quite well. But other than that, I never really want to play it on the deck at 30 FPS. It's just a let's see if it can run kind of download that you do. So I kind of lost interest in Elden Ring after the patch. It might have worked again, but I uninstalled it. So Elden Ring wasn't a contender. God of War Ragnarok, not really a contender for me for Game of the Year. It's too similar to God of War 2018, which I played again in 2022 on the PC. So for me, it was just too familiar, and we're not going to nominate a remake or a remaster. So for me, my Game of the Year is Vampire Survivors, which was awesome. 2022 was a year I spent very little on games in 2022. I kind of passed on a lot of games, like Horizon Forbidden West. I didn't like Horizon Zero Dawn, so I passed on Forbidden West. Passed on Dying Light 2 because I didn't like the original. Bought Gran Turismo 7, which was a disappointment. That was a mistake. But yeah, Vampire Survivors, a small little indie game. It's kind of like a tower defense game meets a roguelite meets a shmup game. It's a bullet hell game kind of thing where you are the bullet hell firing all the projectiles. It's an incredibly fun, simple yet addictive game. I mean, it's one of those games where you think, oh, just one more go, and then it's 2 a.m. And that was me. I mean, like most other games, like I didn't miss Elden Ring when I played it. I didn't miss it at all when it stopped working on the PC. God of War Ragnarok, again, I could take it or leave it, to be honest with you. I kind of pick it up, play it for a while, then put it down for a while. Vampire Survivors I couldn't put down. I played it on Game Pass initially when it came to Game Pass on the PC. Decided to buy it on Steam because it was cheap. It was really cheap. It's like $5 in the US, £3 in the UK, and that's dirt cheap for a game that's given me, you know, well over sort of 40 hours I've plowed into it. It did release on the Xbox as well in November, so if you're on the Xbox One or Series consoles, you can check it out, and it's well worth checking out on Game Pass. It's the kind of game that Game Pass is really good. It's you can play it for a short duration, or you can play it again, just keep going and going. You do get a 30-minute time limit. You can shorten that to 15 minutes if you put it into the double speed mode if you want that experience there. But it is quite a good game. And I do love it. There's different types of builds that you can use throughout the game as well. You can pick up different weapons, and some weapons will complement each other, and you can evolve the weapons. It's different every time you play it. Because most of the enemies are kind of randomized, and you can play as different characters as well, which have different pros and cons there. You get characters that are quite tanky, that can take a lot of damage. You can get characters that deal a lot of damage, that are glass cannons. You can get characters that move fast. You get characters that move slow. They all start with different weapons. But I do love it. I mean, it is a fantastically simple yet addictive game for me, and you know, I got bored playing a lot of the other games this year, and playing some of the remakes and remasters was pretty good. But overall, 2022 was, you know, quite an interesting year. If you want my remaster or remake of the year, I'm gonna give that to Spider-Man. I'm gonna give it to Marvel Spider-Man on the PC. That's my remaster of the year. Pretty good. It has ray tracing. It's got all of the modern super resolution features like DLSS for the NVIDIA RTX cards. It's got XeSS if you've got an Intel Arc GPU. It's got FSR 2.0 for AMD or older NVIDIA GPUs. It's got the iGTI, which is Insomniac's upscaling technology. And, you know, it runs pretty well. It actually ran pretty well. We tried it on the GTX 1070, and it ran reasonably well over there. A bit CPU heavy, but other than that, it's a really good port of Marvel Spider-Man. I haven't tried Miles Morales. I'm going to call Marvel's Morales there. Miles Morales. I haven't tried that yet on the PC, but I do have it on the PS5, and I played it recently, so I'm not in a hurry to get that on the PC. But yeah, other than that, Vampire Survivors, incredible game this year. But anyway, that is all for this video, so thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again soon, and goodbye.